Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to be VOD reviewing a really interesting game between two teams in the most recent Pokemon Unite Championship Open for the month of February. We're going to be watching Overcap versus Brave Birders. Now this is actually a losers final round 5 game, and actually, as far as I can tell, the only footage I can find of the North American team Overcap, who is actually playing the score comp. So we're going to be watching from the perspective of Brave Birders, and we're going to be just seeing how the score comp kind of made a really strong losers bracket run to end up qualifying for the top 16. So the top 16 teams are going to be moving on to the monthly finals, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at their game here. So I'm not going to put any comms in this one. I'm just going to go on ahead and just take a look at it. But really quickly, actually, before I let this fully load up, well, as I let it load up, we have a double tank kind of comp with Slowbro acting as the support, Tank Snorlax. We have Venusaur. It's going to be the bottom lane attacker, Jungle Talonflame, and top lane Lucario. And then score comp, really the only change I've seen in score comp is you either run a Crustle or you run like a Lucario. They usually run like a 2-1-2. A couple Fluffy Tails, couple Goal Getters, and then an X Speed. So we're going to go ahead and kind of take a look at this game and see what we can find out. So this is actually game number 2 right now, the way I'm watching it. We have the series is 1-0 for Overcap, and I really like that name. I think that's suitable. I think he might be lagging. That's actually not something I'm familiar with. I don't know what the goal is there, but I'm not listening to the comms. Maybe lagging. Not really sure. We can already see that they're starting to try to respond to the strategy. They have Snorlax on the team this game, so I think that the team comp is actually in response to the score comp, and we have Slowbro in top lane. So Slowbro may be looking, a pick looking to hopefully what's it called, use the Unite move to stop a score at some point, and Snorlax able to use the block to shove them off. Colin's still sticking with the Talonflame, and we'll see how they do. So they find the first KO in the bottom lane against the Greedent, and as far as I've kind of like VOD reviewed and studied the score comp, a really big goal of the score comp is to try to get like as many small dunks in as you can and keep a score lead. I just now realized I have this like black border. I don't know why, but that's on the actual footage itself, so my bad that there's like a black border over there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and watch this game. So 850Bs spawn up. They fight over it. Jungle Dragonite. Got this top lane 2-1-2 setup, like I said. Got Greed in the bot lane with Wiggly. Most likely a rollout Wiggly. Every score comp I've ever seen is rollout Wiggly. And the goal, like, look at it. 5 + 5 points. I'm going to call out these little scores every time we can. Alright, Talonflame on the enemy team goes down. They have the invading Greedent who's just trying to steal as much farm, and it's always Covet Greedent as well. They're just trying to escape, be annoying, and get as much score in as they can. Small scores coming out from this side of Brave Birders, plus 22 from Crustle, so that's another score. But actually looks like Lucario died to Wiggly, so Wiggly might look for a score there, or just look to take some farm, because that's always a big part of it too. Oh, he actually jumps into rollout. Ooh, goodness, that would have been something if he would have accidentally gotten taken down there. But Wiggly not going to be able to score. And I think a big focus of score comp early is just making sure that they don't accidentally let their points get too high, because that's got, that's something about this comp with score comp is that it's so min-maxy. It's like farming on timers, making sure that you're getting as many dunks in as possible, playing characters that are strong dunkers. And if you look at this, I mean, like strong scorers, all of the characters on the other team are strong scorers. Talonflame very fast, mobile, able to get in there. I believe he's got the Goal Getter on, so it's really, really hard to stop a Talonflame with Score Shield and Goal Getter. And yeah, they're not really looking for fights. I wonder if that means that they have tankier builds. I don't actually know, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Anyways, Colin gets taken down there. They got a few people in the top lane. The Dragonite, however, doesn't have the ability to get in and score as easily since he's coming out of the jungle, but they get a little bit overwhelmed there. They are able to get some scores, and so you can see 26-30, I think, is going to break the top lane. I don't think that they're overly interested in overdunking, ironic enough, because overdunking doesn't really matter when the whole point is just to score as much as you can. So I don't think that I've ever really seen a score comp go crazy with overdunks. They just kind of try to break everything and keep it all moving. Usually there's a focus on Rotom right now. They have the Greedent in the bot lane, which I think has good steal potential with Covet Belch. They actually have 2 in the bot lane right now. So they're running 2 players in the bot lane and kind of pressuring, whereas the enemy team is, or like the perspective we're watching, okay, 4 players in the bot lane. So they actually get the Dreadnought. So they're going to go ahead and push this bottom lane if they can. and they're actually just shifting around the map. Maybe they'll go straight for Rotom, maybe they're just trying to rip through jungle. It's also interesting to watch how hectic and chaotic it can get, where they're just like running around. We'll see. Oh my gosh, I actually love that. I was just thinking to myself before that I wonder if he'd pull them in and then ult away and get the score in. So he gets his score in, and the crazy thing about it is like even getting kills is like it's not enough to slow this kind of a comp down. It like doesn't quite do enough. Now they are going to push top lane, they're going to get some score in top lane, but if this is like some of the earliest score that they're able to get, they get a nice, you know, what, 32 overdunk on this top goal. But if this is like some of the only score that they've been able to get in the game, then we know that Overcap is still in the lead. So we'll have to see how they deal with this. Again, even if they get some picks, it doesn't really matter. Even if they're stronger, it almost feels like it doesn't really matter unless the score comp isn't able to keep the score lead. I'd say that's the only time it ever feels like it really matters. All right, we're watching the mid game of a score comp now. And I think what I would say is like where Brave Birders might be falling behind is the fact that they're not able to kind of like match and get small scores in as well. Here's another score shield turn in. That's going to be 30 more points. That's going to drop that goal down to 6. So either that goal will get broken by a Rotom and be a 14 overcap, or will be overcapped at some point, or just, you know, just be dunked on. It has the potential for overcap. We saw the Dragonite in the enemy jungle. We see, look at this, they're just double landing right here. They're going to go on ahead and break that one. So now they have the base win con open, because if they get a Rotom, it's going to the base. And so that's something that Brave Birders is going to have to deal with. And it already just kind of sees, like, you can see the visual pressure on the map. Like, just looking at the map, you can tell, like, this team, it just isn't capable of, like, slowing them down. Really is, like, struggling and having a hard time to slow them down. I gotta be honest, I almost want to practice against score comp and play something like a Decidueye and just like pocket pick the Decidueye and see if the Razor Leaf would be enough to shred it. I think the biggest thing is that, like, I don't know if there's anything in the game that can stop a full 5-man team scoring against you. But anyways, it looks like score comp, Overcap is going to be focusing the Rotom here, or the Dreadnought here, sorry. They're going to get it, so they're staying ahead in experience as well, I guess, or at least keeping even. Maybe that's why they're focusing on it so much. I would almost expect them to focus more on the Rotom, but they actually get taken down there, which is going to give Brave Birders an opportunity to get some score. And that's good, but it doesn't really, it still like doesn't make up for the score that they haven't been able to get. And they do get Rotom in top lane. So this is going to force Brave Birders to have to deal with it. This is going to be the last Rotom because of the timing. There's no more time, not 2 minutes left for it to spawn. But if they do, they do get a kill. They get 2 kills in top lane. So now the enemy team, Brave Birders, is forced 3 kills in the top lane. They're forced to go deal with this. Colin's going to have to deal with it. That's going to, you know, if anything, what it does is it buys them time to score in bot lane, probably. They will probably break bot lane here, would be my expectation, or at least just try to get more points. We're about to get the 3-minute call, which is the last call before the final stretch. So they actually don't score in bottom lane like I thought, but regardless, they're probably just farming out their whole side of the map, because going into the end game, oh, they're actually in the lead. Wow, that's really surprising. That's really surprising that Brave Birders is in the lead. So this is actually really, really interesting now to me, because I was for certain just looking at it that maybe they hadn't overcapped enough, but they have gotten a couple of big overcaps on bottom and top lane. I think it was like 30 and 32 or 38, something like that. So they've had like 60 overcap in total from Brave Birders, so they have small lead, which is anywhere between 21 to like 99 points. So they have small lead going into final stretch. If they have points on them and they get zapped, that could be a win. So we have to see how Overcap deals with it, because the reality is that they could probably base score, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get, if they don't have max points, that doesn't necessarily mean enough. Okay, the Bird's got to try to get out. I actually think Bird's dead. Yeah, I think Bird's dead. Okay, so Bird dies. Overcap's Talonflame dies, which means that he's going to lose a lot of his Eos energy, which is kind of problematic. So Brave Bird is actually in a pretty good position to deal with them. I think Wiggly has to use Unite move here. Okay, so that's a Unite move, so that means that they don't have a base Unite to use, because she can't Buddy Berry the enemy team. And they're going to flip the Bird. Flip the Bird, that's funny. They're going to flip the Bird. They get 100 in base, 200 in base, and Crustal's running to go get another, okay, 300 in base, just shy of, and Crustal is getting just shy of the 400 points in. So we know that Overcap is well in the lead. They just scored, what, 384 total? And in response, it's just shy of 200. Now they're doing small dunks. That's another 60. So Brave Birders should have a nice hefty lead here. But now they're scoring in base as well. Okay, so all the score is in, and we're going to get the 1 minute call. So we'll have a really clear picture, because this is where it's like, honestly, even for me, like I'm not even playing and I'm having a hard time keeping track of the scores. All right, the 1 minute call is they're struggling, which is anywhere between 21 and 99 points. So this is potential to be in the lead. Unlikely, right? Now it's taken back. So we know that even with that score, the Dragonite is still scoring more. So we know that they're still struggling. Now potential to be in the lead again. Again, unlikely, but potential to be in the lead again with that 38. We don't know. We're in blind territory now. They base. They're watching, they're trying to hold, and look at this. This is where the base win con comes in. Now they have the ult. Do they have a Wiggly ult? They have the Wiggly ult. He can't push them. They have the Dragonite ult. They have the Crustal ult. 60. 78. And 30. And like, there's just no way, right? Like, there's just no way. 50. There's no way that they could possibly put in the score. And there's no way that they could possibly get the points. So Overcap's going to win it. So the base win con is where it comes into play, right? Like having 3 Unite moves, 3 Buddy Barriers, 3 Score Shields to go on and go ahead and score is what secures it. So really, really crazy. I mean, just to explain it, Overcap, if I remember correctly, went 2 rounds in winner's side. They lose. They go into loser's bracket, and they have a loser's bracket tear. They win 1 game, 1 series, 2 series, 3 series, 4 series, 5 series, and they make it to the top 16 at the very end of the loser's bracket. So Overcap, North American team, I believe they're all from North America. I don't know, but they're playing in the NA Open using the score comp. Really, really interesting to watch. Again, the funny thing about this is like it's so hard to know exactly what the play is and what the comms are, and big respects to them. They want to keep their secret. I did talk to them about maybe watching some footage, and maybe I'll do that in the future. But friends, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. It's super, super interesting strategy. It obviously works decently well if it can make top 16 and qualify for the monthly finals. So friends, thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment, drop a like on the video if you wouldn't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already for future Pokemon Unite content. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone you love them. And I'll see you on the next video.